Okay, well, we are here. I would like to say that me being incredibly late was like this, an April Fool's joke, but I was actually just very late. Now, the, the reason for it is actually kind of funny. There was some weird like Queen Bee or Queen Wasp thing just on my floor, and I was like, well, what the hell do I do with it? Okay, how the hell do I get rid of this without killing it? Because I didn't necessarily want to kill it, but I also didn't want to touch it or go anywhere near it. So cue me like running around like a loon trying to figure out what the fuck to do. I've not moved yet. I'm planning to move, and it's nearly done, but it's a little bit off. So I still need to wait, and then I'll move. So as soon as I've moved, everything will be better. There'll be less bugs and shit all over the place. But while I live in like the sort of countryside area of where I live, it's a bit of a pain. That's the first time that's happened though, so it's something I don't, something I don't really want to want to repeat again, because I opened the door and it crawled towards the door to leave, and I'm like, oh great, this is perfect, it's gone. And I opened the door a little bit later and it was like hanging on the door frame, and I'm like, not so sure about this. Oh well. My ordeal is done. I finally got everything ready. We can start up. So first of all, let's have a look at the rankings of Group A. So with Group A, everything is pretty tied up now. Naz and IRK are safely through to the round 4 playoffs. That's going to be the second time for both of our teams here, possibly even the third for Naz, which is really, really impressive. Now, my cat just started doing something weird, so I thought she'd seen the bug again, but it's okay. We're good. So this game going to be important for both teams. It's going to be Net Wars versus Red. Red have struggled a little bit in round 4, whereas in comparison, round 3 and round 2 they did a lot better. But Net Wars, for the first time in fact, aren't going to make it to the playoffs. Unfortunately, IRK and Naz have already played all their games, so Net Wars cannot catch up. But will they be able to overtake White Clan in the final moments here of this group? We'll have to find out. Having a quick look at the player rankings as well, we'll see that things have changed a little bit. We've got Eon Zerg taking the 3rd place position after his game this week. Dragon and Terra holding onto their spots, just popping up above pSi. And DeWalt is actually moving up to 7th, Ho moving up a little bit, and Koga still laying strong there in the top 10, regardless of not playing since something like round 1. So really impressive by him. He beat some incredibly strong opponents back in round 1 and round 2, so understandable why he's so far up. We have a look at today's matchup. Obviously going to be the important one. Red versus Net Wars. Net Wars have won 20 of their games so far. They've actually been in the playoffs 3 times. Twice they come 2nd, and once they come 3rd. That was in round 1, round 2 and 3 respectively. And overall, both of these very, very good teams. Red actually came 4th, I think it was, in the round 2 playoffs, losing to Soul Gaming. So, wait, did they? No, they must have lost to White Clan. Yeah, they lost to White Clan, then White Clan went on to beat Net Wars in the final. I believe Net Wars played against what's Soul? Whatever. I don't have that information at hand, and it's been a long Monday, so that's fine. Let's have a look at what games we're gonna have today. Okay, so to start us off, we're gonna have a ZBT between Eriador and Koget, which is gonna be sick. We're going to then have a PvP between Talon and Bonneth on Neo Chain Reaction, a TBT between Blue Green and Ziggy on the Mancha, and then a PBZ between Horatoss and Kingpin. Now, it's not going to take a genius to figure out exactly what match I'm looking forward to the most. It's going to be match 1. Eriador, one of my favourite foreign Zerg players to watch, just because he does play such creative styles. And then, of course, Koget as well, an amazing Polish Terran player, one of the best foreign Terran players overall, and an absolute boss as well. So, gonna be cool to see them both here. If we actually introduce both of our players quickly, we'll have a look at exactly how they've been doing. Now, Eriador has played a little bit recently. He's on a 57% win rate. His last 3 games, he played against 2 people in the top 10. And also played against Radley, who he went for like this crazy Queen Rush on Holy World SE. And unfortunately it didn't work, so Eriador got taken out that game. But his game versus DeWalt was cool, his game versus Ho was cool as well. He actually played Protoss against Ho. And just overall, I mean, he struggled against some of the better players. Like, you'll see that he lost to Spire, Terra, DeWalt, and Ho, obviously. But he's a really, really good player when he's active. Obviously, he's been around forever, so you can't really say too much about that, other than the fact that he's just a good player in general. So let's have a look at his opponent. Gonna be Koget for Net Wars. He's one of the, well, he hasn't been as active recently. He actually played his last games in round 3 in the end of 2018. Okay, well, he's blue-green in the database because red-blue-green is actually too long to fit on anything, so that's fine. And calling him blue-green is a lot easier than calling him red-blue-green, to be honest, so that's why. But Koga overall, a really sick player. His previous games, he actually beat Dragon, who's another member of the top 10. He lost to YSC on Katrina, but he was very, very close. He is RGB, but RGB is hard to say as well, so... Oh yeah, it'd be red, blue, green, not red, green, blue. Damn. Well, blue-green. That's how it is. Sorry, blue-green, or sorry, red-blue-green even. Your clan name is too confusing to call you red-blue-green, it's fine. But Koga, just an amazing player, nevertheless. Let's actually double check that I've got all the map intro videos loaded. No, I haven't, so let's just quickly add one. Just so it's in there, and then we'll introduce our first map of today. It's going to be Fortress SE. One sec, I need to move my cat from where she is because she's in the places where she really shouldn't be. 1 second. Okay, well, Fortress SE 4-player map, just to show Lottie, because I know people have said you wanted to see her, so she's off to the side. Basically, I have some shelves over there, and she jumped on the shelf. She has never ever gone up there, not even once, and she's acting like a madwoman today for some reason, so this is fun. I've got to try and juggle a cat who is being amazingly active for some reason, and also casting solo, so hopefully she'll get ready. Let's get into game number 1. I know I didn't talk about Fortress much, but we've got time a little bit later to do that, so let's get into game number 1. Okay, starting us off here in the bottom middle position, we do have our purple Zerg fighting for red. It's gonna be Eriador. And his opponent spawning us off here in the top right hand position, we do have the red Terran. Just to confuse me, fighting for Net Wars, it's Koga. And I also now have an itchy eye. Today is quite possibly the best cast ever. Just saying, guys. Everything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong so far, so hopefully we'll have some good games to make up for it. I don't know, I take a break for like a single weekend, then all of a sudden I forget how the cast and everything falls apart. Oh boy. Life is fun sometimes. But let's look at what both players are going to be doing. I would suggest that Koga's probably going to go for something standard. He doesn't, well, at least the last time I saw his TBZ in the STPL, he doesn't really go for anything too crazy. So, probably going to see a +1 5-Rax from him or a 2-Rax Academy. Ariador, he does play crazy styles, but not usually initially, so we're going to have a 12 hatch from him. But we could see some crazy like Queen Hydra bust if he goes up against a 1-1-1. It'd be kind of cool to see if Koga actually does go for some kind of gas build here. But looks like I mean that'd be way too late for gas, so it is going to be 1-Rax fast expand for him as well. Ariador is going to drone scout. He won't be able to go in to check the main, so he's not going to know exactly where his opponent spawns just yet. Interestingly, he could actually leave the Overlord over here, but it does allow it to get sniped obviously a little bit later on, which is something you don't want. The SCV going to scout the pool coming up. Nothing really much else to say now. Oh, is Ariador really going to do it? Is he going to hide his third base above Koga's main? He is, isn't he? Look at Ariador, he's so smart. Why would Koga ever check this base? He would never ever check this base, ever. What a great place for a third hatchery. Like late game, yeah, you're gonna go scan that or check it or something, but look at Ariador being all smart here. Gonna hide something, this allows him to hide his tech as well. Obviously can't get any drones over there to start with, and defending it is practically impossible. Now it is gonna be a 2-Rax here from Koga. Interestingly, Koga went for the 2nd Rax before the depot was finished, so that's something I may need to start incorporating in my own play. So yeah, he's not called Ariadorable for nothing. That is very true. Now the first gas is on its way up here. Fortress SE is such a good map, by the way, guys. Really, really good for drops. Really good for airplay as well. And I mean, Koga is one of the users of two-port Wraith outside of Korea, so it's kind of sad we won't get to see that in this game, but maybe Koga wants to play a little bit more standard, knowing he's up against Ariador. 2-Rax Academy has been a build for a very, very long time now. Everything that Koga is doing is a lot faster than me when I do this build, so I'm going to have to watch this and then see what the hell he's actually doing, because my 2-Rax Academy always comes out late. Now you can see the SCV using the mineral pathing to go through into the base to check for a third from Ariador. Now the SCV is actually going to get stuck because now he's not going to be able to get past the lings. Oh, maybe he is, because SCVs are saggy, as you heard, but nothing kind of too crazy going on either side other than this third base at the moment. Lair coming in, 3 hatch meter, not really that surprising. Why didn't you change your name to Complete Rev? Medina failed the mission. Ooh, okay, so the SCV gets through again. Gonna check another one of these side bases. He wants to make sure there's no hidden base from Ariador, but not 100% sure on where he'd put it. And he knows by the timing of the lair and the, well, it's going to be a Hydralisk den even, so we're not even going to see what you'd expect to see from Ariador here. He's going into a Lurker build. Now, is he going to go slow Overlord drop and drop from up here? Because that would just be like the most boss build ever. Like, just slow Overlord drop into the main. Now there is a good number of Medic Marine. There's actually 9 Marines, 2 Medics. He's going to be building a couple of Fire Mats back with this. Another Medic and a Marine to follow this up. And he's going to go for a little bit of a pushy. And now, it's actually quite difficult to break the Sunkens early on if you're actually against a good opponent. Even against opponents my level, breaking the Sunken is kind of hard. But there is only one Sunken colony at the moment. And it's not been scouted. Here we go, he's actually going to go in. The first Sunken is going down. The drones have been pulled. There's actually no units back here to defend. I think Koga may actually just be able to break through. Ariador's having to pull all of his drones. And drones against Marines are not a good place to be. GG. Ariador getting caught off guard, not building his Sunken colonies quick enough, and being taken down very quickly in game number 1. So not quite the 6-minute curse. One thing that isn't cursed is how Lottie has decided to chill out behind me now, so she's all good. and now we can focus more on the cast. But unfortunate for Eriador, he was up against a very tough opponent, but unfortunately, it wasn't really his opponent that caught him off there. It was just his lack of building. Anything. He didn't build enough Sunkens, so you'll never. Okay, so just if anyone wonders why I'm laughing, if you're watching the YouTube VOD, Red T45 said you'll never compete with my level of inability. Yeah, okay, I think everyone is like equally bad at Brood War, let's be honest. There's like a few gifted people who are like, yeah, I'm really good at this game. Yeah, okay, I believe you. But that genuinely, there are actually really good people, but I've been playing since 2008. I'm still max rank B. I know B is relatively high, I guess, but I still feel like I'm really bad. And yeah, it's a bit horrible, but let's give that win to Goget. And then we'll get straight into the second game. It's going to be Talon versus Bonneth. It's going to be on Neo Chain Reaction as well. So Talon, one of the newer pickups for Red. Now, it's been yet to be decided if he is actually a Talon or if he's just named that. Because basically he's not played all that many games, but it's kind of cool to see him here. Let's actually introduce him. Well, I say he's not played many games, he's actually played 3 already, so let's have a look. Okay, so Talon has played 3 games, only one of them was against Zerg. It was against Kenzie, where he did lose, well, he lost his only ZVP, and apparently he's 1-1, so there's... Oh, it's because there's a PvP, he's not, yeah, so he lost it, well, he beat pSi and lost to Telecom, so not sure whether that explains too much, but his opponent on the other side needs no introduction. It's Bonneth. He's got a 60% win rate in the STPL. His last 2 games were against 2 of the best Protoss players that have played in the STPL for White Clan, Ho and Haji, and honestly, Bonneth is a complete and utter boss. So Bonneth's PvP by far his best matchup, I would say. I used to say his PvZ was his best, but a lot of people say that his PvT is, so I don't really know where to go with that one, but PvP is absolutely incredible for Bonneth. His early game micro, his Reaver micro as well, his High Templar micro, just his micro in general is just on such a level that's almost better than nearly every other foreign Protoss player. The only one that comes close is really DeWalt. So PvP definitely a specialist matchup. He's played 7, he's won 6, lost 1. I can't remember who he lost to, but you can see it was so long ago that it's not actually on here. He's played so many games, and just overall, he's just been doing really, really well. So the other thing to point out as well is he's won as many PvPs as half of his overall wins. So he's won 12 overall. Half of those were PvPs that he won. So a good opponent here. Now let's actually have a look at the map intro. It's going to be Neo Chain Reaction. Okay, well, let's actually have a look at Neo. Well, by the power of amazing production, with a click of a button, we show the right map. It's Neo Chain Reaction. There's not actually been a PvP on this map so far, so this is going to be our first PvP. A really cool 2-player map, bridges separating both sides of the map. There's kind of like, it's almost like there's 4 continents on this map. You have the top quadrant, bottom quadrant, left and right. Even based on both sides, there's back passages and things like that. We've seen a really cool PvT on this map where there was a load of storm drop and things like that. It is going to be an uphill battle here for our red player Talon, as Bonneth is one of the strongest in the foreign scene, but we'll have to see if he can handle up or hold up against the might of Bonneth as we get into game number 2. Okay, starting us off here in the middle right position, we do have Yellow Protoss fighting for red. Once again, the colors are mixed up. It's Talon. And his opponent spawning over here in the top left, or the mid left position, is the red Protoss fighting for Net Wars. I even had to think about that like 3 or 4 times to get that right there. It's Bonneth. Okay, so Bonneth, very, very good at PvP. We've seen 2 PvPs from Talon. He did lose to Telecom and then beat pSi from Naz, so arguable which one of those players is better. I know a lot of people would say pSi is, but Telecom plays really, really good PvP in the STPL so far. Both players so far are going to be going for similar builds. Now, Bonneth's strength is in his micro, so it wouldn't surprise me to see Bonneth throw down another gateway here and just go for mass 2-gate Zealot, but obviously you can't be sure until it happens. We're going to have Gas coming up for Talon, Gas coming up for Bonneth as well, so mirror builds. And in terms of what I think they'll do, I mean, if the game goes on long enough, I think we'll see Bonneth definitely go for Reavers and Goons. And I think Talon will more than likely go into some kind of 3-gate rather than teching. And the reason why I say that is because Bonneth, I mean, he's known in the foreign scene for his shuttle micro with his Dragoons, so it doesn't really make too much sense for him to do anything else. Talon could obviously opt to go for some kind of High Templar build, but we'll have to see. Obviously, we've got to get past that 6-minute curse mark before we can really start to see any of those strategies come in. Because you never know with PvP, sometimes you could see a situation where one person goes DTs, the other one does get an observatory and the game ends. And that's always sad. The crazy thing is, throughout the STPL's history, the 1-year-long history, we've had a lot of PvPs, and I mean a lot. Like round 1 and round 2 are pretty much primarily PvPs just because of the distribution of races on the teams. And honestly, I think there's only been one insta-win PvP where someone went DTs and the other person went like no ops. So it's kind of crazy to think there's been so many games and so few. Bonneth is actually going for a Citadel, so Bonneth is being the cheeky one. And the core by Talon is actually very, very late. Not really sure why that was so late, but obviously he's going to have to wait and get his tech up now. It's going to be delayed compared to his opponent. Maybe he just wanted to hide everything from the probe, but unfortunately Bonneth's way too good at keeping that probe alive. Finally does go down, but is there going to be a Templar Archives behind this? The Citadel just about to finish up. Templar Archives coming in as well. Looks like it's going to, yes, there it is. So Bonneth is going to be the one going for these Templar here. Now, DTs, very, very strong. I mean, admittedly, I do agree that Bonneth losing his probe that quickly is kind of uncharacteristic for him, but he knows he's got the advantage tech-wise, and it's going to be interesting to see exactly what's going to come out here from Talon, because Talon is still not adding on any more tech or gateways or anything. He's a little bit preoccupied at the front of his base, so Bonneth doing a really, really good job here. I mean, look at the damage that Bonneth managed to do to 2 Zealots without losing all of the shields on his Dragoon. Okay, wrong Dragoon there. Looks like we do finally have some tech coming in. Gonna be a Robo. Okay, so 2-gate Robo. Could be a 3-gate. Yeah, it's gonna be 3 gates as well. That's gonna be his way of trying to catch up a little bit on the unit count. He's gonna have to make sure he builds an observatory straight away though, because this DT is already on the way. And if a DT gets to his base, things are not gonna look good. Ah, fair enough, I see what you mean. Okay, I got the... because I saw the probe die and, yeah, brain fart. But it looks like we are going to have this DT running across the map. The Robo is not yet finished. Is there going to be a Forge? No Forge behind this, so he's going to have to rush. And I mean really rush into Observatory here, because if he doesn't, this one lone KP boy is going to be able to win this game. Look at him running. Look at him go. He's running really, really quick. He wants to get in that base. No one is going to stop him either. Talent, I wish I could see where his screen was right now, because this DT is about to get in his main. He's actually... Oh, the observatory's finished now, but there's already a DT. He's going to pull all of his probes away. He's going to see what he can to just get this observer out and see for the time being if he can keep his probes away from the DT. The DT already on 4 kills, going to get 5 and 6 very, very shortly after this. But the trouble is, this isn't everything for Bonnet. He's got an expansion coming up behind this. The probes are actually transferring back after mining. Now the obs is nearly finished. There's a second DT on the way. So the good thing is Talon isn't going to outright die here. But has he already taken enough damage? Well, 8 kills on this DT. He has definitely taken a good amount of damage here. And with this second DT coming in, is there going to be enough units to even chase this around? This DT is getting all of the probes at the top. The probes are being pulled away. And the DT in the main does go down, but there is another DT here. Let's see how much damage he can actually get done as he runs towards the mineral line. Now, as I said, the main issue is not this DT. Obviously, it is an annoyance. But it's the fact that Bonnet already has a Nexus. He already has High Templar. And he's going to be going into Storm as well, and 3 gateways coming up for him too. He's actually going to wait. Oh no, he left the DT in his main. He didn't know it was in there. Oh, the DT going to get all of the final probes. GG, 6 minutes 48. Bonnet wins the game. 6-minute curse strikes again. And yet again, we don't have a longer than 6-minute game. That's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, guys, because obviously when both players in a team league go into a best of 1, they're going to do whatever they can to take down their opponents as quick as possible and get their team a win, and Bonnet certainly did just that. And we're going to head into our third game after this. It's going to be Red, Blue, Green versus Ziggy. So don't go anywhere. Okay guys, welcome back. We're here for some more STPL action. We're going into our third game of this series. It's going to be a TBT between Red, Blue, Green and Ziggy. So let's actually have a look at both of our players here and we can get accustomed and get ready for hopefully a treat of a game. So, Red, Blue, Green. He's actually even in score. He's played 4 games, he's won 2 of them. He's actually played 3 TBTs, so he's kind of like a TBT sniper. But unfortunately, he's tried to snipe Kogut twice, and he lost both times. So he did beat Reyna for Bull, which is something. But obviously, when you're up against someone like Kogut, it's very, very difficult. I mean, it's kind of unfortunate for him as well. They met 2 rounds in a row, and both times he went up against Kogut on completely different maps. So luckily enough, he's dodged Kogut here. His opponent is going to be the one, the only STPL. So Ziggy's here. He's actually played 3 games himself. He only played 1 TBT, which is 1. That was against Herbmon on the Mancha. So he has another TBT coming up here, and it's going to be on La Mancha. Okay, well, I saw a few people left because it was a TBT, but luckily, the people that are still here, you are going to be in for hopefully a treat of a game. I have seen some really, really cool TBTs recently. I know we've had 2 6-minute games in a row, but I'm certain that the TBT gods will gift us with an amazing split map game. I'll be here still casting 24 hours from now. The map will be fully mined out. Both of them will have like max 200 BCs, and both will be trying to Yamato each other to death. It's going to be glorious. I don't know what's going to happen. The match are really, really cool to split as well. So let's not waste any time. Let's get into game number 3. It's Reds, Blue, Green versus Ziggy. Okay, starting us off here in the top left-hand position, we do have the purple Terran fighting for red. It's blue-green. And fighting for Net Wars over here in the top right, in the blue, it's Ziggy. Now, it's funny you say that, Radley, because I know you know Ziggy quite well, so I mean there could very well be a 2-fact. And also Bourbon said there was going to be BBS into GG. Now, I kind of hope we don't get another 6-minute game, because otherwise I really will start to believe what Rapid says, where we're kind of speed running the STPL. I want to see a 14cc from both players. Let's make it happen. Let's go long. Let's get a really cool TBT. And so Grey Shade says, an Englishman who prefers T versus T. No surprise. Well, I can't refute that. Oh, you didn't know the map was going to be La Mancha though. Well, I mean, you can still BBS on La Mancha. Like, you can BBS any map if you try hard enough. Let's be honest. Like, I need to learn how to micro, so I might start BBSing every game. It seems to be a really good way to focus on your micro really early on, but in terms of what's going on here, we've got both players going for a Rax. Both players going for a gas, but Ziggy's gas is, wait. Yeah, it is slightly further ahead, so that one's on 330. Yeah, so it's not ahead by much, but it's ahead a little bit. So Radley says, there's no fun in TBT if you don't play Ghost or BCs from 2 base. Well, that is true. Ghosts are amazing fun. I played a... How long was it? I think it was 45-minute TBT on cross game on ladder yesterday, where the game ended because I ended up going mass Wraith, mass tank. I split the map, even though he hard contained me. And then basically I went mass ghost and locked down all his BCs. Or at least, I tried to lock down all his BCs. I locked down like 2 of them and then killed them all anyway. But it was the honourable win that I get, but I won the game anyway. But I also nuked one of his bases, so I got the moral victory even if I'd have lost the whole thing. We've got a factory coming in here for blue-green, sorry, for Ziggy. Factory coming in here for Ziggy. Blue-green. Ah! Oh my god. mass raid. This guy made 4 Valkyries, but I microed them down. I just sent in like 4-5 raids at a time, so I just sniped his Valks before he could do anything. I had the upgrade advantage, so looks like Ziggy is going to scout this out. Now, one thing I'd like to point out to Radley, just so we can count. Okay, well, I've just made myself look like a right fool. I was going to go and count 1 factory in his base, but there's a 2nd factory. Radley is 100% right. 2 fact coming in here from Ziggy. Now, Fear, the reason why Valkyries sometimes do not shoot is because the missiles count as an individual sprite, and basically there's a sprite limit in Brood War of things that can appear on the screen at once. So basically Valks just get confused and the game's like, whoa, you can't generate any more scouts. And Cole, Boxer was actually streaming proper games yesterday as well, so he played a really cool TVT against the fan yesterday. But there we go. Nice micro by blue-green. Gonna be able to take down the first vulture from Ziggy, taking no damage. And this is going to be not a cancelled CC, but it's at least going to be a denied CC. And this is so annoying in TVT. Now, is the 6-minute curse actually going to come in? Good high ground vision by blue-green there. Going to be able to keep that alive. Now, there is 2 factories here, so eventually this is going to be able to be cleaned up. Nice repair going down on that vulture, keeping it alive a little bit longer. This rush is going to stop for now. But there is another vulture coming in here to snipe this next SCV, and you notice back at home the command center is going up, so this is very important that blue-green denies this for as long as possible. Now the one problem is, he did go 1 fact against 2 and his command center is actually not that much further ahead, and the problem is Ziggy now has this vulture lead. He's not doing the micro properly here, so he does miss a few shots but does get the vulture in the end. Now there is going to be a tank coming out to sit on this ramp. Is there going to be any mine upgrade? So it looks like it's going to be speed first. No mines just yet, but the tank is going to be so important here, because that's not only going to allow him to push back the vultures for now, but he's also going to be able to clog up his ramp, which is realistically the main thing. Now, yeah, he did need to fit in, and Radley, I'm not really too sure why he pulled back, but Ziggy, of course, thinking about what to do, he's just going to wait for himself to get more vultures. I think, to be honest, that's not necessarily the smartest play, but at the time it probably felt pretty good. And Cole, I don't think Boxer will make a full comeback to Brood War, but I think it is possible that he might actually stream more often, because he did say whenever he plays Brood War now he's going to stream. And maybe he'll get invited to like some of the side events and things, because who doesn't want to see Boxer in Korea? Like, who doesn't want to see Boxer outside of Korea? If you're a StarCraft fan, you're a Boxer fan at the end of the day. Like, without Boxer, we wouldn't probably ever have had the pro scene of StarCraft 1. So, Boxer's kind of important. Now, this is shaping up to be a little bit of a longer game. We've got vultures against tank, but the vultures obviously laying a lot of mines, going to delay red, blue, green from pushing out very quickly. And we do have a 3rd factory coming up back here. Armory is done, Academy's done as well. Scanners on the way, meanwhile in Ziggy's base. His armory is only just starting, but obviously he doesn't need the anti-air as quickly because he knows exactly what's going on. And rushing to +1 isn't really necessarily a thing you'll do in TVT. You really want to rush to +2, but you want to be in a position where you can kind of build +2 immediately. Now, oh, we're going to have to push out towards the mines. The mine's going to be... Oh, I hate watching this. The amount of times I've actually just outright lost to losing to mines is kind of unfortunate, but Oh, looks like he's going to be able to clean up those front mines at the very least. Now, there are still a lot of vultures here. He doesn't have any mines left on them, but there are 2 tanks. That's going to stop him from being able to push up onto this high ground. Now, let's see if he's going to try or if he's just going to try and split the map, but definitely the positional advantage going to Ziggy here. Ziggy needs to keep his vultures a little bit closer though. If all of this pushes up towards the tank at the same time, oh, it looks like he's a little bit apprehensive, but that could actually break as long as he split well enough. Now, it doesn't look like he has siege ready yet. No, siege, he actually he delayed to get the extra factory, and that's obviously going to cause him a few problems because now he can't siege, he can't secure his position on the map, and he's going to have to worry about these vultures running by. This could do a lot of damage. I mean, we're just past the 6-minute mark, but never say never. The SCV's being pulled back. Can they get back into the main in time without taking critical damage? The tank on the ramp. Oh my god, he should actually just pull the SCV's away. There we go. But the tank not blocking. This is a very, very wide ramp on the Mantra. He does manage to block a couple of them. But there's another load of vultures going into the main. So many SCVs have gone down. About 8 SCVs so far. 9. 10 SCVs, an amazing amount of damage coming in from Ziggy. There's blue-green with the command center advantage a little bit longer. Does still have a little bit of a supply advantage. Now, we do only have 3 factories here for Ziggy. Looks like Ziggy did lose his barracks, so he's had to rebuild that back at home. He's going to go into his 4th factory now. Same time as blue-green. Both of them look like they want to kind of go up to 5 factories before taking a 3rd. Now, realistically, I think blue-green should actually just secure this location and then take this 3rd because... Oh, sorry, I missed a mine going off. That's a little bit unfortunate, but... Oh my god, that vulture on the Goliath on 1 health. That's why I hate mines. Okay, Bradley is officially my co-caster from here in the chat. He's like, where's the starport? Where's the science facility? Where's the covert ops? I don't know, Radley. There's no covert ops just yet, but 6 factories. 7 factories coming in for Ziggy. Now, this isn't standard TBT play. You want a 3rd a lot quicker than this. He obviously does want a factory advantage over his opponent, but you can't even build off of 7 factories on 2 base. That's not really something you can afford. Now, his scanners are late. He doesn't know what his opponent's doing. And he does have this high ground position, which is going to be very hard for blue-green to take, but realistically he doesn't need to. He needs to secure this bit of the high ground to block off here, and then he needs to go and expand down here. But really nice move by Ziggy, actually going to leave his 2nd barracks over there, so he didn't lose the barracks earlier, he just landed it. But he's going to make it a little bit harder for good old blue-green to take his expansion here. This is a bit annoying, and it's actually going to allow him, despite going up to 7 factories first, to take his command center a lot quicker than his opponent. So really, really well played by Ziggy. Both of them incredibly even on supply. +1 is on the way for red, blue, green. +1 on the way for Ziggy as well. Things a little bit quicker here for red, blue, green. Just because you get the armory a little bit quicker, you got a 2nd gas a little bit quicker. Now, both of them are pulling a little bit of extra gas that they do need to start to spend on something. Now, the issue is both of them don't really want to sort of max out on anything just yet. They're kind of feeling out exactly what their opponent's trying to do. Now you can see Ziggy is trying to move forward to secure this extra pod, but he does need to be careful because if we see a big move out to try and secure this area here for blue-green, then he could actually trap Ziggy onto his 3 bases, and that's not a position you want to be in. Now this map split is going to split pretty much perfectly. Obviously Ziggy is going to need to secure this area if he wants to secure this bottom left or bottom right bases. Obviously this position for blue-green is going to secure here and here. So when the map does fully split, I expect to see both players to kind of just max out their attention on just building command centers everywhere. That's kind of the normal play in TPT when you split the map. You just take all the bases you possibly can, and now blue-green is using his SCV to take, well, at least to build this Goliath. Now, in TBT, when you have a split map situation like this, the 2 most important bases on the map are 12 and 6. Now, the reason is, because if you think logically, we have Ziggy unable to push across the bridge. Blue-green is unable to push across the bridge as well, so there's a massive point of contention, and it means usually you will have sort of a command center be placed here for blue-green just due to the way this works, and you'd often have Ziggy take this base. But Ziggy is playing a little bit more conservative with all of his tanks. Now he does have more factories than his opponent, like quite a lot more actually, 3 more factories. But because of his economy at the moment, he can't actually produce off of all of them. Now we do have the science facility in here. Unfortunately no covert ops, Radley. I know you're a little bit disappointed, but +2 already on the way. +2, a very important breakpoint. Purely on the basis that with that breakpoint it takes 2 shots from a tank to kill another tank. So, I mean, we're definitely going long here, everyone. There's not really too much we can say. Now you can see that blue-green already knows that he can't properly push across this bridge. Obviously if he does, he's going to have a base advantage in the late game. So he is going to try and be a little bit more adventurous. But obviously you can't really go too far forward from here, so he is going to pull back, he's going to just play it safe, knows there's no base there for the moment, and knows there's no units from Ziggy. I would like to see him play a little bit more adventurous, but obviously if you start seeing a mass dropship fleet from your opponent, which we're not going to see, then that's not the case. Now, no covert ops can be built here either, Radley, so that's a little bit unfortunate. I know we're both rooting for it. That's so unfortunate, the SCVs are getting stuck there, but wow, we're actually seeing +1 armor from Ziggy. This is a big mistake. Well, it's not a big mistake, he's got +2 attack coming as well, but here we go, looks like we are going to have a break. Is he going to be able to break this high ground? A very big, costly error. If this goes wrong, Ziggy needs to hold, sorry, red, blue, green needs to hold this position if he wants to take the bottom left bases. And he's trading incredibly efficiently here, but obviously Ziggy does gain a little bit of ground, so maybe that works out for the best, but that's definitely a better trade here for blue-green. Ziggy still even on supply though, he's been building a lot of vultures. Meanwhile, blue-green is building almost entirely tanks. Now, looks like blue-green is going to try and break through this position. If he can get hold of this area, he's going to be able to set up a really hard containment. Looks like both players going to be a little bit more cautious, going to take this high ground pod once again, and just see if he can secure for another day. Now, I think this tank is actually in shot range, so if he put another tank here and scanned, he could take that down, but he is still worrying a little bit. Now, you can see that Ziggy is trying to hold on to this high ground pod as well. He's actually building a lot of vultures, so he is going to go for a break here himself. He's going for a couple of breaks, and that can be a good move, but if it goes wrong, you can be in a very bad position. But looks like he isn't spreading his vultures well enough. Some mines going off on some of the units, but another load of tanks actually coming in from blue-green to reinforce. He's going to be able to set up his siege line, and all of a sudden things get a little bit dangerous. But the thing is, Ziggy still has vultures. They're eating a good number of tank shots, good target firing there on those vultures, able to take out a good number of these tanks, and both of them trading incredibly efficiently again. And for you, you ask, why no vessel? Vessels in TBT are very difficult to use. Now, this is another reason we're going to have a big set of, well, 3 dropships coming in here for Ziggy. Going to see if he can try and break the tank line in another way. Now, the dropships are obviously one of the biggest tools in a TBT to try and clear things down. And this is why, when you start to get over 3 bases, you just see turrets everywhere. From pro players as well as players in the amateur level. But looks like Ziggy wants to try and hold on to this position. If he can grab position over this ramp, it's going to be very difficult for blue-green to break it without his own dropships, and unfortunately he's not been building them himself. Now, he is building turrets back in his main. I think it'd be better to turret off this location and then turret your siege line as well, but he's definitely doing his best to try and break his way through. The dropship's going to go back where he knows is safe. There's no anti-air here, so it's kind of funny, he's not going to be able to deal with this. Now, he does need to secure this, but like, this location is one of the most important locations on the map. You hold this high ground, you hold this choke, and you hold access to both the bases. Now, Ziggy is going to go for his 4th base down here. 5th base should definitely be following this up very quickly, but both players trading very efficiently, so neither player can really afford too much. Yeah, BCs are slower than Goliaths, it's a bit of a pain. But you need to know exactly what to defensive matrix, but if you AMP obviously against BCs, it's very good. Okay, so we have +2 for both players. 2-1 is completed here for Ziggy. 2-0 for red, blue, green, but honestly the +1 armor doesn't really do all that much, so it's not a massive deal. We're seeing a lot of tanks coming out at once. 4 tanks at once here for blue-green. He's actually going to skip +3 attack now. This is calculated. +3 attack doesn't really add too much on the ground, especially when you're only on 3 gas still. It's better to spend your money on more tanks and more dropships. So looks like he is going to try and get this position back over this high ground. Now, I say get it back, he's kind of taken this for the first time, but he is going to have to be careful. Ziggy has a lot of units, and he is going into siege fire, so he's going to fall back, and Ziggy is once again going to be able to hold on to this high ground. Now, just having a look here, you can see, I know that Fia mentioned all of the extra factories. Now, he is building vultures off of all of them, which is why he doesn't actually have that much money. Vultures, as the game goes on, especially as +2 and +3 attack comes in, just kind of melt to everything the Terran player does. Now, this is kind of funny, single mine over here. Now, we do have a dropship getting down here into the bottom right. Does get taken down by that Goliath, but he is going to be able to cancel out this 4th base, and oh, nice mine going off there. Going to be able to clean this up. And it's obviously going to lead to blue-green being a little bit more worried about defense. Yeah, like, neither player... Well, I mean, Ziggy has some dropships. I'm not really sure where they are. Okay, looks like he's got them here. He's actually going to go into a Wraith as well. So, Ziggy's kind of building one of everything, which isn't necessarily what I'd imagine you would like to do, but missile turrets coming in back here for red, blue, green. He's still not taking this base. I really think he should have taken this base as 4th, because if you take this base and mine this gas, when the map's split like this, you really do need that gas. Like, that gas is the most important resource on the map, realistically, for blue-green. Now, blue-green is going to try and secure this bottom left location. He does, in fact, have a couple of his own dropships, so he is going... Oh, that was a nice mine, but does get taken down by something. But a vulture killing a tank, not a position you want to be in. This is another tank that needs to get picked up, but... Looks like he's going to be able to secure this bottom left location now. Looks like we are going to have another break into the middle. This is a very important location. High ground in between both players is always going to be important in TBT. And Ziggy using his factory advantage here to the best of his ability. Going to take control of this high ground. Now, he doesn't really want to push too far forward. But it's kind of funny because now all of a sudden this location... It helps Ziggy because it keeps his opponent away from his rally points and everything. But... he's throwing away a lot of units to get it. He can't push any further forward. Blue-green in a very good location. And interestingly, Ziggy hasn't moved to this low ground. I really think he should do that. Because he's actually leaving himself open in this bottom right base. And we do have 5 dropships coming in. All of them aren't full. Sorry, there's 4, so the other one's a dropship. But he's going to be trying to make he's trying to make his way across to the bottom right. Back in the main, we don't see any additional wraiths being added on, no additional starports anywhere. Back in red, blue, green's main, no Cobalt Ops or Physics Lab yet. But looks like we are going to have drop action, a nice mine going off on top of those. But this is kind of funny, we've got red, blue, green dropping on the high ground. Ziggy dropping with less units here on the low ground. A little bit unsure about his dropship micro here, but this could be a good couple of mines. Looks like he does manage to take out one of those tanks. The Wraith cloaking, but unfortunately not going to be able to do too much. The dropship's going down as well, and SCV is going to be able to clean this up. So not exactly the most effective drop I've ever seen. Ziggy really does need to stop making vultures. The vultures aren't adding anything to his army anymore. He just needs to add like pretty much machine shops on all these factories, go ham on the gas, and just build as many tanks as humanly possible, because that's the path to victory in TBT. Many tanks. 22-minute BBS rush, let's make it happen. Let's do it. I mean, if he goes barracks supply, we could see ghosts, so that'd be sick, but looks like we are going to continue back on the dropship production. Looks like Ziggy is going to finally move forward and secure this location. Blue-green, he's building the gas immediately. This is exactly what he needs to do. I want to see the same from Ziggy here, because gas is arguably Well, I don't even know if you can argue this, but it's all that mine doing a lot of damage to a lot of vultures in that tank. Arguably, as I said before, this is a very important location, and finally Blue-Green has realised this is an important location as well. Looks like we did see Ziggy try and push over that bridge, but unable to do it. Ziggy, just move down and take that area, just take control of this bridge, and take the 6 o'clock base. You have 700 minerals, just build a command center, and I mean, he's sending an SCV down there, but there's no units to defend it anymore, so I'm really confused, but Ziggy must know what he's doing. Obviously playing to his strengths a little bit, knows there's no units across, I guess. And he's actually spent all of his money, so he can't afford the command center anymore. That's really unfortunate, but sometimes that happens in TBT. We've got a few unit movements coming in here for red, blue, green, just trying to secure as much gas as possible. Now this is what I like to see. There's going to be a starport here. Oh, no physics lab as of yet, but more starports means more race, means more air, means more BCs. And red, blue, green is going to have a lot of gas now. It looks like Ziggy going to push forward, see if he can find an opening in red, blue, green's armor. If he can secure this location, he secures this high ground. And also, oh, that mine taking down 3 Goliaths. That's so important now, Ziggy. Get your tanks on this high ground. If you get this high ground here, we're going to have blue-green completely stuck in his base. And just like I'm listening, good scan by blue-green to see that this is happening. Now, obviously, he's going to be up against tanks on both sides. Looks like red, blue-green actually going to cross the T with his tanks in the bottom here. That's a really good move. Now, still no command center in 6. Still no gas in 12. Looks like it's coming up now. Still no physics lab for either player just yet, I don't think. Let's double check. Yeah, still no physics lab, so blue-green definitely keeping his money in tanks at the moment. Now he is going to go for a few dropships more, up to 5 dropships for him in terms of dropships for Ziggy. We only have 4, so dropship's going to be a very important tool in this game as well. Now, not using the starport for anything as of yet. But I really do think that Ziggy just needs to hold tight and split the map, because if he tries to break too many positions too often, he's actually going to find himself in trouble. Now, he is 3-3 upgrades against just 2-0, so that's going to benefit. Are either player going for ship weapons? Yes, they are. So ship weapons, ship plating coming in here for Ziggy. He doesn't have any upgrades as of yet, but that's going to signal more starports. And those more starports means wraiths. Now, a good scan by red, blue, green. Actually going to catch one of these wraiths flying away. See the blue, green scanning around everywhere, just trying to see exactly where his opponent's units are. Now, this is why it's very important to keep units here, because all of a sudden, these 4 dropships full of units are going to go over to your bottom right bases, and you don't actually have any defense down here. Ziggy caught out a position, a big drop going in as he pushes forward. Could this be the moment where Ziggy gets an unbelievable position, or is red, blue, green's drop going to do an insane amount of damage to Ziggy's bases? It's all or nothing with this push. If he can get a good contain up, then it's going to be impossible for blue-green to get his units around. Now, there are going to be a lot of wraiths to be able to come in here. The command center is going to go down. Ziggy pushing forward to an amazing position. The dropships getting caught off guard. Oh no, he's going to lose 2 tanks in the dropship. A huge pick off there by Ziggy as he moves into the natural expansion. And he gets a position on the bottom of the factories. This is where you have a lot of trouble in TBT. And a great move by Ziggy. Obviously lost one of his gas bases. That's going to be a massive problem. But taking out all of the dropships, if he loses these dropships, he's got no way of moving around the map. Now, obviously the minerals and the gas are mined out of this base, but it's still important to hold on to this position. Now, what else do we have going on the map? We've actually got the wraiths coming in. There's no scan coming in from red, blue, green. He needs to scan. If he scans, he can kill all the wraiths. But there we go. The Goliaths have actually started shooting. Can they take down the wraiths before it's too late? The tanks in a strong position. But maybe Ziggy has been a little bit too overzealous here, pushing a little bit too far forward. He's unable to break the ramp. He took down the command center. I mean, red, blue, green has a lot of other command centers at the moment. That's not too much of a big deal. Now, it looks like red, blue, green is going to be going into his own starport. Ziggy pushing down with his units now, maybe seeing if he can push his way across. Now, Oh, he actually gets a factory. That's a pretty big deal. But obviously with the starport tech coming in here for Blue-Green, who does have a much better economy, things are definitely looking better for him. Now, it looks like Ziggy is not done pushing yet. He wants to see if he can try and break through. Now, this is a lot of vultures, not that many tanks. Lay some mines, Ziggy. Break your way through and take out another one of those all-important gas bases. Oh, the mines! Get both the tanks there. Oh, mines from the other side though. This could be quite exciting here as he pushes forward. Good, he does get the scan down. He's going to take down this scanner. He knows the cloak wraiths. One of the things he has, he's actually going to take out all of the units down here now. So that's a good cleanup there by Ziggy. But obviously Ziggy has taken out this extra base. Red, Blue, Green does currently still have 3 mining gases though. And Red, Blue, Green a secured location over from this location here, and Red Blue Green is going to be able to sneak his way back out. Now obviously Red Blue Green pushing a little bit too far forward. There's going to be no anti-air here until his wraiths kick in. No physics lab, but both players are actually running on empty right now. They're building so many wraiths each. And Wraith versus Wraith, I mean, that's not a really fun fight. Here we go, looks like the Wraith coming in from Ziggy at the perfect timing before the Wraith production of Blue-Green really starts to come into effect. There are a couple of Goliaths here, but 2 Goliaths are not going to be enough. And this is why you make use of all the excess minerals you get in TVT to try and build a ton of turrets, because otherwise this happens. Otherwise, you go into Valkyries. Now, Wraith is certainly not the worst unit in TVT, but it's a really fun unit to use. So looks like we are going to have a turret coming up here. Is going to go down. Red, Blue, Green is going to lose every single Wraith that pops out here. And Ziggy's usage of tech switching, his positional play, pushing forward, breaking the siege line of Red, Blue, Green, has not only given him he's got a 50 supply advantage, he's also got a major tech advantage over here over his opponent. Now, he's going to be able to camp the starports. There's not really too much that poor Red, Blue, Green can do even. He's going to have to focus on building Goliaths. But obviously if you build Goliaths on the ground, you're not building tanks, so that's always a problem. Now, Ziggy still doesn't have this base here. He's obviously mined out this main, mined out this natural. His third base is very close to mining out, including the gas, which is the important resource. But this gas is pretty fresh. He's not actually managed to mine this very much. And that's going to be kind of a big advantage here for Ziggy, because the more gas he needs, he's got a fresh base down here he still hasn't taken. Now it looks like Blue-Green is able to secure his starports again, so that's something. But obviously these wraiths are going to be a huge pain in his, a huge thorn in his side. He's going to get this final dropship. There are a few Goliaths here. Going to be able to clean up some of these wraiths, but good pullback by Ziggy. Going to be able to take down at least a couple of tanks here before the Goliaths get there. Now, does need to be a little bit careful. Obviously he doesn't have that much money to throw away everything. Looks like Ziggy's getting ready for a big bust again. He never really stopped building vultures. Now, usually in a TVT that wouldn't be the best move, but when you have so much gas going into wraiths, it's not actually that bad of a decision. Now, looks like he is going to try and push in from behind with the wraiths, pull the attention of his opponent down. Now we see a scan going down. Gonna see all of the turrets up here. Blue-Green finally starting to make use of those excess minerals. He has stopped wraith production for now. Still no physics lab. And Blue-Green is actually one base down on his opponent at the moment, at least in terms of fresh bases, because this should be... Okay, it's not mining out very soon. Looks like Ziggy going to push back onto this high ground. There's actually no units on the high ground here for Red Blue-Green, so this is going to be a very, very good engagement. Ziggy's wraiths coming in from behind, going to take out all of these tanks. Need to see good target firing, but it looks like Ziggy may just have too much. Great mine going down on the purple tanks there. And Ziggy, once again, takes control of his opponent's thingy. Okay, now it looks like we are going to see Ziggy pushing forward. There's actually not going to be any recompense here for Red Blue-Green. He's going to try and pull his tanks and his units up from the bottom, but 2 tanks on the high ground trading very, very efficiently, getting a lot of damage down on these tanks, and the factories are about to start being camped here by Blue-Green. This is when you know it's pretty much checkmate. I mean, he's going from ship weapons, but he's behind his opponents on that. You see 2-2. Okay, 2-2 should nearly be done. Looks like 2-2 about halfway done. He actually delayed that a little bit longer. But with the factories being shelled down, with the air advantage coming in here for blue-green, and with more and more units pushing down, it looks like Ziggy may have just checkmated his opponent here. Obviously red, blue-green still has 3 mining bases, so the game is not over. But this is the kind of position where it's actually very, very difficult to come back from. We've got a command center down here. Still no physics lab or covert ops. Still no physics lab or covert ops, but obviously things are a little bit more dire here for blue-green, who's down 50 supply. And Ziggy continues to add on race, well at least I thought he was. But 2 tanks behind the mineral line here. If he just scans this or sends the wraiths in, that's going to be a feast on those SCVs. This base is actually very close to mining out even, because he's had it so long. The gas quite healthy still. There we go. Looks like we are going to have Wraith versus Wraith. A nice cloak by Ziggy, going to take those down. And this is kind of all that red, blue, green has left. He's trying to go into a mass Wraith switch against someone with more starports and better upgrades. So this isn't really the position you want to be in. But there are obviously some turrets here. The scanner is going to go down, unfortunately, so that's going to be less scans available for his opponent. And Ziggy once again moving forward with a lot of units, just taking as much of the map as he possibly can. Now Ziggy is throwing away a lot of wraiths on those turrets. You don't want to be doing that when you don't have 3-3 upgrades and a lot of wraiths. And yeah, looks like Ziggy is in a very, very good position. A really, really well played TBT by him. There was a few questionable decisions with his positioning that I was a little bit unsure about. But looks like Ziggy is going to come in from multiple angles. There's only actually 2 tanks here defending this entire base. Oh, the mine drag actually causing his own death. GG! Blue-green taps out and Ziggy takes Net Wars to a 3-0 lead. Well, I say 3-0 lead, it's going to be a 3-0 victory, but of course, in the STPL, if there's a 4th game played, we will get to see it. So, I'll load up that game, get everything ready for our next game, which should be a PvP, no, it's a PvZ between Horatoss and Kingpin, if I remember rightly. Yep, it is. So see you guys in just a sec. guys, welcome back to the STPL. We're going to be heading into Game 4 between NetWars and Red. NetWars have obviously taken the 3-0 victory, but there's one more game left. So let's get into it as we have a look at our players. The first one for Red is going to be Horotos. So Horotos naming himself after the old German player. I don't think he's actually the same guy. But he has had a little bit of a poor record so far in the STPL. When you look at the players he's lost against, Dragon, Radley, Arcneon, Gyro, I mean all of them relatively good players. He beat him up as well, which is no mean feat, getting 25 ELO from him, so we'll see that. And his opponent gonna be for NetWars, it's Kingpin. Now Kingpin with a 40% win rate is one of the kind of weaker players win rate wise on NetWars, but he's been appearing a little bit more often recently. He's actually played quite a few games this round, so really cool to see him here in the lineup. He's actually 3 for 1 in the last 3 months, so it's gonna be, I mean he did beat Sugo, so he's actually been a fairly decent Protoss player, and they're gonna be heading into map number 4. It's going to be on Neo Medusa. Okay, so looks like I forgot to press the button. Here we go. So we're heading into Neo Medusa. We've had 7 ZVPs so far. We've been 3 for 4 in favor of Protoss. So we've had some pretty good matchups on here as well. The Walt vs Eridor was really sick. Dragon vs Dentag was pretty cool as well. So without further ado, let's get into game number 4 with NetWars playing for the absolute victory, the granny, as some people call it in the UK, or are we going to see a Red comeback here in game number 4? It's Horotos versus Kingpin. Okay, so starting us over here in the 2 o'clock position, we do have the yellow Zerg fighting for NetWars. It's Kingpin. And over here in the top left position, we do have in the red, finally playing for Red, it's Horotos. Now apparently I never actually tweeted out from the STPL account, but the STPL was live, so hopefully no one missed that. But if you do have Twitter and you want to follow the STPL, you can follow it on twitter.com/STPLTV. And it's really cool to share stuff on Twitter as well, because it basically means that more people get involved, more people get to kind of share stuff out as well, and you can kind of figure out exactly what's going on. So STPL has been going now for a year. It's been quite a long year, but it's been a very fun year. There's been some really hard things, which I'll talk about in like the speech I do at the end of the STPL overall. But it's been great fun, so I've been glad that you've all been joining me on this journey. Hopefully this game will be pretty sick as well. We just came off the back of a really cool TVT. Now we are going to see an overpull here for Kingpin. Looks like Horotos going to kind of block this hatchery, thinking that maybe his opponent will go for that first. He is going Forge Fast Expand as well, so he's not going to play the sort of modern style, I guess. Now the reason for this is because Gateway First is kind of the build that Bisu really popularized about 2 years ago when he first came back, because he was killing everyone with it. And then a lot of the other Zergs tried it and they're like, hey, this is good, but if they attack me I die. Because not everyone has Bisu micro, so yeah, a Gateway First a little bit more fickle, a little bit harder to pull off. Because obviously you force more lings by virtue of having more Zealots. And then every once in a while, they'll just attack you with the Zealot, or with the Zerglings even, and you'll just die. So we actually saw, kind of funny, when you think about Bonneth versus Eon Zerg, we've seen 3 games of Bonneth versus Eon Zerg. Bonneth always goes the gateway first in Protoss versus Zerg, because his Zealot micro is actually really good. But all 3 games ended in less than 6 minutes, all of them, because Bonneth died to Eon breaking his wall with Zerglings. So yeah, it looks like Kingpin was thinking about maybe going for his third hatchery up here really quickly, but he is going to go for his... Sorry, he's going to go for a second in his natural. Looks like work's starting to catch up with me, but that's always fun. Now this Overlord going to get perfect vision over everything that's going to go on. He's going to see the Forge, he's going to see the Cannon, the Gateway, and of course the Nexus coming in. The gas coming in behind this for Horatoss, not really too surprising. He's playing a very standard build right now. And looks like Kingpin does want to get his third hatchery. Now, is Kingpin going to play super all-in, or is he going to play a macro style? Obviously there's multiple options on this map. This map is actually very good for the style that He Who Should Not Be Named popularized in 2006-7. I'm going to take another natural. And oh my god, Kingpin's actually going for 4 hatcheries first straight away. I didn't even see this on the minimap. My brain is all over the place today, but 4 hatch after pool before any tech. Let's see exactly if this is going to work out. Now obviously if this doesn't get scouted, oh what a great move by Kingpin, blocking off that probe. If you get up to 4 bases Zerg without getting scouted, without taking any damage, you are going to be in an incredibly good position. Obviously this is a mineral only, so, and it's only got 5 mineral patches, but that's still an extra base. It's still extra income that you wouldn't get any other way. So no 5th hatchery as of yet. He's going to have to spend a lot of minerals. Oh my god, even getting the second probe coming out, that's very, very big. Horatoss is going to have to wonder what's going on at the moment. He's even going to try and send his Zealot away from the wall to see if he can get over to the base. The probes didn't have too much luck, but this Zealot is going to be running into a lot of speedy guys right here as these Zerglings are going to move out. Going to see if they can block the scouting once again. And as I said before guys, if this doesn't get scouted, this is going to be an incredibly quick game. Now we do have Citadel coming in after Stargate, so very, very standard play by Horatoss. Wow, Horatoss actually going to get in. Oh, is he going to see anything? Oh, he sees the Spire. That's not really going to go away too much. The nice micro by Horatoss though. How on earth did that Zealot just weave its way in and out of those Zerglings? Oh my god, okay. I was gonna say someone call like the anti-cheat squad here, because like that's some insane Zealot just not dying to like 12 lings, but Zealots are pretty strong units. Now it looks like we are gonna have a lot of Zerglings coming out from Kingpin. He's gonna be pumping Zerglings from at least a good number of his bases. He's already got quite a lot already. But we're getting up to the moment of the 6-minute curse here guys, so he's not exactly got the best wall in the world for Medusa either. So it looks like we are going to have the Lynx trying to force their way through. There is a lot of Lynx here, but obviously Zealots do a lot of damage. But if he does lose, oh wow, really, really nice hold. The probe's being pulled, the cannons doing a fantastic job, but Horatoss loses all of his Zealots once again. The Overlord going to get corralled into this cannon, so that's going to go down as well. And Cannon's coming up in the main, so he did see the Spire. He's like, well, he must be going for Mutalisk, so I'm going to go for a load of cannons in my mineral lines. Now this is obviously the problem with Horatoss right now. He doesn't have the scouting information he needs. Finally, he has a Corsair or two that he can actually go and scout with. This is actually not going to supply block Kingpin. He did build a couple of extra Overlords to what he needed at the time. Oh my god, is he going to lose these 2 Overlords as well before the Scourge can pop? Looks like this one's going to come very, very close. Can he get it before the Corsairs go down? Yes, he can. That's going to supply block with the Scourge! Oh, this... Wait, where's the 4th Scourge? Oh man, he's actually going to lose another Overlord. This is going to heavily supply block Kingpin. He's going to need to build a couple of Overlords. Oh no, the Scourge gets the 2nd Corsair! And that's a massive deal. Losing both of those Corsairs really forces you to kind of over-defend again. He's not building any additional ones. He's only on 3 gateways. he doesn't have +1 attack. Horatoss is really far behind where he wants to be in this game. +1 attack is only just now starting up, and losing those Corsairs is a massive, massive deal. Because he didn't even get a full scout off. He doesn't know his opponent's on 4 base yet. With Sunken's coming in over here, that this is most likely going to be a Spore when we see this Evolution Chamber finishing up. Okay, that's not the Evolution Chamber. But there should be an 11 there. And I can't say Evolution. An Evolution? 11. I keep saying 11. Evolution Chamber is the next logical step here for Kingpin as he builds Spores, Sunken, so all of his bases, and just really shores up his economy with just mass drones. And it's going to be very difficult for Horatoss to really punish it. I mean, he doesn't have his 3rd base yet. He's going to build it, but of course it is a mineral only. Net Wars Ping Pong? Who is Net Wars Ping Pong? I must be missing something here. But Storm coming in. Velvet Legs. Deck, please, hurry. Okay, well. Looks like Horatoss didn't have time to wait around. He wants to end this game quickly. I mean, we did get past the 6-minute mark, so maybe he feels like he's got a duty to like end the game very, very soon. Otherwise, we could accidentally get a really epic PvZ. But it looks like we are going to have another additional 3 gateways going on, up to 7 gateways before going into this Nexus. Obviously, these Scourge are going to be able to see everything. They're not going to see a Nexus here, but they are going to see the cannon before most likely at least one of them dying. They're pulling away at the last second. Good. Oh, this is still going to go down, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. Okay, it is going to get away, but does manage to get a spot off on that cannon. We do have Spores coming up indeed. I don't actually know where that Evolution Chamber was. He had over here the whole time. Oh wow, double wall Evolution Chamber with the Queen's Nest. So we're going to have Hive coming in fairly soon. Unless he's going to take after his teammate Eriador and just go Queens within Snare. But when you look at the size of Horatoss's army compared to that of Kingpin's, I mean, it's not looking too good. Now we are going to have a Storm at least. Whoa, that's a nice Storm on those first Hydras. Lurker's coming in from behind though. The Lurker's getting on top of all of the High Templar. Nice Storms. At least taking out one of these Lurkers, but that's going to force Horatoss back again. +1 attack still not done. That is very, very late now. It's a little bit unfortunate, but that's just one of the things that can happen. Unlucky Noob is finally here. VIP in the chat, everyone. The actual proprietor and creator of the what was it? Of the Lucky Noob build on Neo Medusa, so it's a little bit of a throwback map for him. Now, this is kind of funny, the Lurker's got so many different targets, but he can't hit any of them. So here we go, looks like we are going to see that Lurker taken down. Kingpin pushing forward once again, so it looks like Kingpin may be more of a 2v2 player, so hopefully there'll be a little bit more of an event coming up him soon that he'll be able to play in a lot more. But it looks like we are going to have a lot of Lurkers going down. Horatoss, despite not having the biggest army earlier on, has actually taken a really, really good engagement over a Zerg opponent. He's not going to supply block him, but he's going to have to force out a lot more sunken colonies, a lot more units in defense. And this is definitely a good position for Horatoss now. He's got a decent bank behind this as well. Does need to make sure he gets this into units if he wants to continue to break. Because this is going to be a very difficult position to break, but the trouble is, look at Horatoss, wait. Look at Horatoss's vision. He doesn't know about this 4th base. Oh, he's sending an observer down there. He's got an inkling that it might be down there, and he does get it right. There's actually... Oh my god, there's no units here. There's only 2 Sunkens. This was never morphed. This is going to be a dead base. I can't believe Horatoss managed to find this. And he finds it with absolutely no defense. Now, obviously, he does run the risk of getting himself contained in behind. The Lurkers need to get here and burrow on this ramp as soon as possible. The Kingpin isn't going to want to give this up. Nice Storm on the back units. Great Storms, actually, coming down from Horatoss. Another Archon coming in. But looks like we do see a little bit of an overzealous push here by Kingpin. Going to lose a lot of these Lurkers once again. And that's a little bit unfortunate, but it looks like Kingpin is in fact going to be able to save the base, at least momentarily. There's a lot of links coming in behind this. This Archon on a lot of kills already, going to continue to add to this kill count. +1 attack, +1 armor is done. No +2 attack just yet. Is he going for +2 attack? Yeah, so he's going for +2 attack. He must have a second forge somewhere. Looks like the base will eventually go down. Hive is completed. Wow, he's actually had to rush Hive here, knowing that his Queen's Nest is going to go down. And oh my god, he's actually going to lose 3 Overlords, 4 Overlords possibly to all of these Archons even. And Kingpin's still adding creep colonies on. It's like, no, I don't want to lose this base. I just don't want to lose it. Now let me zoom in again. Here we go. So the hatchery going to go down eventually. These single Hydras popping out and dying, unfortunately. And a big army of Dragoons coming in behind here to shore this up. I think Horritos may have done it. I think he's going to get the win over Kingpin here. I mean, obviously the game's too close to call, but the army advantage here for Horritos is really insane. Like, he's going to be able to at least take down the 4th base. I think he's not even going to bother killing it, but should probably go and kill that. Now, there is a lurker down here somehow. I think this was camouflaging itself. So this is eventually going to go down. The Observer... The Observer must be around here somewhere. I think he may have even targeted his own Zealot to kill that. Oh no, there we go. There's the Observer. So good moves, killing out that Observer as well. Kingpin is going for a big attack up to the north, but he's going to be up against a good number of Zealots up here. There's a High Templar that doesn't have Storm, and he is going to have to defend back at home with very little. He's only actually got 3 sunken colonies. No lurkers are here, and I think this is likely going to be the death knell. There's very little that he can actually do to defend this. He is going to be able to get sniped on that Templar. Good moves. But unfortunately, when your natural is busted, when your hidden 4th base is busted as well, when your Zerg opponent, when your Protoss opponent even is a base ahead of you and has a massive army coming into you as well. I mean, look at this. He's got units coming in from behind, but it's not enough. Horritos with an amazing set of engagements here. 2-1 for him now. Just an amazing upgrade advantage. GG, Kingpin taps out, and Horritos takes the final game. Okay, so that was the end of our first series for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Red managed to claim a little bit of pride back at the very end, but of course Net Wars do get that win. So let's have a quick look at the results, just so we can introduce the next series as well. So let's have a quick look here. So Koga taking down Ariador, Bonith taking down Talon, Ziggy taking down Blue-Green in a really well played TBT. Just think if that had gone ever so slightly differently, if Blue-Green had positioned himself a little bit better, then maybe we would have an ace match now, but unfortunately we won't, as Net Wars will take down Red 3-1.